The film begins in a place where the royal troops led by General Lin are trying to kill a giant dragon monster that appears once every 1,000 years. In order not to pose a danger to the population, General Lin and the royal troops continue to try to launch attack after attack to paralyze the monster. Unfortunately, their abilities and strength weren't comparable to the monster, and with a single jolt, they were all blown away into a frenzy. Not long after, a man appeared who wanted to help General Lin and the royal troops. The man was called Master Fu Yin, who was a famous monster hunter from Tianshi Hermitage. Master Fu Yin immediately fought fiercely against the monster, then he issued his ultimate sword technique and succeeded in repelling the dragon monster in front of him. When he thought that the battle was over, the monster went berserk again and made him bounce until he almost fell. Fortunately, General Lin managed to reach out and help Master Fu Yin. Realizing that he had no other choice and did not want the monster to wreak havoc in the world, Master Fu Yin sacrificed himself by issuing a secret technique to kill the dragon monster. But before he died with the monster, he left a will to General Lin to take care of his 2 disciples. The scene changed. 15 years later, in a village, residents gathered to watch a performance by a young man named Ling Fang and a girl named Ling. They were disciples of Master Fu Yin from Tianshi Hermitage. They deliberately put on a show to attract the attention of the residents so they could sell their medicine. After showing their show, the amazed villagers scrambled for the medicine they were selling until they had to be stopped by the royal soldiers. At night, Ling Fang seemed to be contemplating. Apparently, he missed Master Fu Yin who had not returned to see them for 15 years. There, Ling Fang and Ling didn't know that their master was dead because General Lin still kept it a secret. At the same time, they were visited by an old grandfather who was looking for his grandson until late at night. Feeling sorry, Ling Fang and Ling decided to help the grandfather find his grandson. While looking in the forest, Ling's eyes glowed blue. Apparently, Ling was bringing out her ability, namely Sixth Sense, to find out where his grandson was going. They finally arrive at an old temple located in the middle of the forest. In the temple, the grandson is apparently about to be sacrificed by a demon and is pulling the grandson's soul. Seeing this incident, the timid Ling Fang immediately took Ling out of the place, but Ling, who had a brave nature, actually intended to help the grandson. Ling immediately launched an attack to thwart the ritual and managed to save the grandson from the place. On the way, Ling met the royal troops who were on patrol. Ling then left the grandson by pleading with Prince Zhang, who led the royal troops. On the other hand, Prince Zhang seemed to be mesmerized by Ling's beauty and finally accepted Ling's plea, then took the grandson to safety. While on the other hand, Ling Fang was still fighting with the demons of the temple dwellers, but because Ling Fang had no martial arts skills, he was thrown many times and was mercilessly beaten by the demons. Not long after, Ling returned and immediately threw her dagger at the demon, thus rendering the demon helpless. Ling Fang immediately put the talisman paper on the demon's forehead and sealed the demon so as not to harm many people. It turned out that the demon they conquered turned into a mouse. After that, Ling then took Ling Fang to meet Prince Zhang and his troops who were waiting at the border. Ling then thanked Prince Zhang for his help. Prince Zhang had apparently fallen in love with Ling at first sight because he was fascinated by her beauty, then Ling and the others left. Elsewhere, the villagers are slaughtered by the demons, and their souls are taken to offer them to the Dark Demon Master. The next morning, General Lin, having breakfast with Ling Fang and Ling, received a report from one of his troops that a massacre had occurred. Hearing this, General Lin took Ling Fang and Ling to check the corpses of the villagers who had been slaughtered. When he got there, Ling's eyes flashed a blue light again and she knew that the deaths of the villagers were the work of the demons who drew their souls. While Ling Fang, who saw the corpses, suddenly remembered his past as a child, Ling Fang saw all his family died in horrific conditions because they were massacred by the demon races of darkness. General Lin, who already knew the cause of the deaths of the villagers, then ordered Ling Fang and Ling to return home immediately and intervene in the case. At the same time, Prince Zhang also came on the scene and General Lin explained to Prince Zhang that the deaths of the citizens were caused by the robbers. Ling Fang also conveyed the same thing to Prince Zhang because Ling Fang did not want to interfere, let alone deal with the demons. But General Lin's words were immediately refuted by Ling by saying that the deaths of these unnatural citizens were the work of the dark demon race by looking at the black bruises on each of their heads. Ling's explanation was again denied by one of the royal guards who argued that the death case had nothing to do with the demons. Prince Zhang, who was confused about the chronology of the deaths of the villagers, finally gave General Lin 3 days to investigate the death case to find the real culprit. At night, Ling Fang and Ling were very surprised when they returned home, because the mouse demon they had sealed yesterday was no longer in the bag. This made them suspect that there was another demon that released the mouse demon. Worried about the grandfather and grandson they saved, they rushed over to them, but their arrival was too late because the dark demons had killed and taken their souls. Ling, who sensed that the dark demons were still around the house, threw her dagger again and managed to injure one of the demons, but Ling failed to catch him. The scene changes, showing Ling Fang sprinkling flowers on the graves of the grandfather and grandson. This incident also made Ling Fang promise to avenge the villagers. On the other hand, in the palace, Prince Zhang approached the king's advisor to report the strange incident that had happened to the villagers. The king's advisor then ordered Prince Zhang to stay in the palace and let the king's advisor solve the strange incident. Meanwhile, Ling Fang and Ling began to study Master Fu Yin's magic spellbook to defeat the dark demons. But suddenly, General Lin came and forbade them both to learn the magic spells because General Lin did not want to see Ling Fang and Ling in danger from dealing with the demons. Hearing this, Ling Fang became annoyed and shouted at General Lin, then asked him not to hinder Ling Fang's desire to hunt down the demon races. At the same time, Prince Zhang and his 2 bodyguards came to Ling Fang and Ling's house. Apparently, Prince Zhang already knew that Ling Fang and Ling were disciples of the Tianshi Hermitage. Prince Zhang's purpose in meeting them was to invite the 2 of them to join the army to solve the incident. Hearing the offer, they accepted it and became part of the royal army. Prince Zhang then took the 2 of them to the royal palace to check on the residents' bodies. They looked very thorough. Then Ling began to get suspicious seeing the strange behavior of the 2 bodyguards of Prince Zhang. Therefore, Ling Fang and Ling intend to investigate Prince Zhang's 2 bodyguards to discover their true identities. In the evening, Prince Zhang entertained Ling Fang and Ling with various kinds of delicious food, which was deliberately done by Prince Zhang to get Ling's attention. On the other hand, Ling Fang immediately gave 2 glasses of drink to Prince Zhang's bodyguard, which of course had been given medicine by him to know their true form. Their suspicions were proven in a matter of seconds. The 2 bodyguards finally showed their true form, which was the demons that transformed into humans. Ling Fang and Ling then chased the 2 demons until there was a fight between them. However, Ling Fang, who could not defend himself, was cornered by the demons. General Lin, who was about to help Ling Fang, was also blocked by another demon. But thanks to his technique and battle experience, General Lin managed to kill the demon in his way. Meanwhile, Ling and Ling Fang were still fighting as hard as they could to defeat the 2 demons. They looked overwhelmed and were repeatedly knocked down. Even Ling was seriously injured from being hit by a heavy blow. Seeing this, Ling Fang looked furious and subconsciously released a secret technique that had been hidden for so long, and with one attack, the 2 demons died in Ling Fang's hands. But the problem did not end there. On the other hand, the king's advisor was approached by one of his demon subordinates. The demon reported that Ling Fang and the others had killed the dark demons, and apparently, the king's advisor named Wu Chen was the mastermind of the case. Wu Chen turned out to be very ambitious in resurrecting the giant dragon monster by attracting and collecting the souls of every human being. The scene changes, showing Ling's still weak condition. Ling Fang seemed to make a potion so that Ling's immune system and internal injuries recovered quickly. Not long after, Prince Zhang and the palace maids came to their house, then gave a gift of 100 gold bars to Ling Fang for their services in eradicating several dark demons that had been troubling the villagers. After that, Prince Zhang also met Ling, who was still recovering. Prince Zhang then took advantage of that moment to pay more attention to Ling. He also presented a special gift that he had prepared for her, ranging from royal heritage rings, gold hair implants, diamond crowns, and silk-woven fabrics. Feeling that Prince Zhang was overdoing it, Ling Fang returned all the gifts given to Ling, then chased Prince Zhang and his servants out of their house. After some time, Prince Zhang and General Lin again received reports of the massacre of the villagers by the dark demons. Prince Zhang clearly didn't want people's lives to fall, then ordered General Lin to look at the map of the kingdom to track their movements. After seeing the map, there were 2 villages that had not heard of the massacre. General Lin immediately sent his subordinates to go control and guard the 2 villages. But the troops of the royal palace were suddenly slaughtered before they even arrived at the village they were aiming for. General Lin finally began to understand the situation, then again opened the map and said in front of Prince Zhang and the others that the chronology of the deaths of the villagers and the palace troops was almost the same as that of 15 years ago. General Lin continued to explain that in no time, a gigantic dragon beast would soon rise up with unmatched strength. Hearing General Lin's statement, Ling then took out her magical abilities to be able to track and find the whereabouts of the giant dragon monster. And when she saw the magic mark, General Lin concluded that the existence of the giant dragon monster was under the royal palace. Ling Fang and Ling immediately went to the palace to find the whereabouts of the monster before it was too late. Ling then did a search to easily find the hidden giant dragon monster. Ling Fang also took out the bird tracking amulet paper so that their steps were safe without being noticed. On the other hand, Prince Zhang was about to meet the king in the room, but was surprised by Wu Chen, who had killed the king by pulling the king's spirit core. Seeing this, Prince Zhang finally realized that the deaths of the citizens and palace troops were none other than Wu Chen's doing, because Wu Chen's ambition was to become the strongest ruler by resurrecting a giant dragon monster that had been sealed for 15 years. Meanwhile, Ling Feng's tracking bird talisman apparently managed to find the hiding place of the giant dragon monster. Ling immediately took out her ability to form a seal formation so that they could destroy the giant dragon monster. Their efforts seemed to have been noticed by Wu Chen, who immediately shot at Ling Feng and Ling, causing them to bounce helplessly. Not wanting his 15 years of efforts to fail, Wu Chen intended to immediately kill them both so that no one else could stand in his way. When Ling Fang and Ling were getting desperate, General Lin helped and attacked Wu Chen with his heirloom sword. Unfortunately, the three of them could not match Wu Chen's abilities. Seeing that things were getting worse, two of Ling Feng's relatives came to help by restraining Wu Chen so Ling Feng, Ling, and General Lin can escape to save themselves. Wu Chen also viciously killed and withdrew the souls of Ling Feng's relatives, which made Ling Feng weep bitterly. When Ling Feng and the others were running away, they actually met Prince Zhang, who is currently a fugitive from the royal palace troops because he was accused of being the king's killer. General Lin decided to take them to a safer place so that Wu Chen and the palace troops could not find their current whereabouts. The scene changes and shows Ling Feng and the others arriving at a secret place. There, Ling Feng was very frustrated at himself for not being able to fight Wu Chen, which resulted in his two relatives having to be killed to save him. General Lin, who saw Ling Feng's condition, finally told the incident 15 years ago, where the only person who was able to defeat the giant dragon monster was Master Fu Yin. Therefore, Master Fu Yin was never seen again for 15 years because he sacrificed his life to destroy the giant dragon monster. General Lin then took Ling Feng to a secret place that Master Fu Yin kept secret, and in that secret place, Ling Feng immediately remembered his past when Master Fu Yin gave him a jade necklace. It turned out that the necklace could bring Ling Feng to Master Fu Yin in his unconscious state. Master Fu Yin also told Ling Feng how to defeat the giant dragon monster by telling him to eat the cultivation pill of the nine-tailed white cat, so that Ling Feng could have unrivaled spiritual power and be able to defeat the giant dragon monster. But unexpectedly, Ling was the nine-tailed white cat demon. Ling was once helped by Master Fu Yin from the pursuit of the demons of darkness. Master Fu Yin then turned Ling into a human because he did not want Ling to be evil, let alone endanger the Earth's inhabitants in the future. Elsewhere, Wu Chen's attempt to refine the giant dragon beast had been successful. Confidently, he immediately absorbed all of the giant dragon beast's core energy so that he became the peerless, most powerful human being. On the other hand, Ling Feng and the others could feel a very strong aura of darkness when they saw the unusually red full moon. Ling Feng then imprisoned Ling and Prince Zhang with his magic spell because he didn't want to lose the people he loved again. The scene then shifted, showing the valiant General Lin ready to fight to the death against Wu Chen. Various attack techniques were launched by General Lin, but he was still unable to bring down Wu Chen, and the general was blown away until he vomited blood. Ling Feng, who saw that, immediately launched an attack at Wu Chen, but Ling Feng's resistance seemed futile because Wu Chen easily made him bounce helplessly. On the other hand, Ling felt that Ling Feng's life was in danger, kept trying her best to break the barrier and succeeded. When Wu Chen was about to finish off Ling Feng, who was lying in front of him, Ling came and pushed Wu Chen away from Ling Feng. There, Ling realized that they all had no other choice against Wu Chen's power, who had the power of a giant dragon monster, so Ling decided to sacrifice herself and enter Ling Feng's subconscious. It was there that Ling channeled all the spiritual power she had, so that Ling Feng could fight and finish off Wu Chen. After that, Ling's body slowly disintegrated. Then Ling also thanked Ling Feng for taking good care of her, and of course, there are many precious memories that will not be forgotten. Their separation also looks very sad. After that, Ling Feng, who was engulfed in anger because he had lost Ling, then released the power of his golden sword, and with just one slash, Wu Chen was killed. The film closes by showing Ling Feng paying his respects in front of a tomb, hugging a white cat. After he finished paying his respects, Ling Feng said goodbye to General Lin and Prince Zhang to go hunt the demons, and it turned out that the white cat Ling Feng was carrying was Ling. The film ends. We can learn many moral messages from the characters in this film. For example, General Lin, who always keeps his promises, Ling, who always believes in her abilities, and Ling Feng, who always loves the people around him.